It is a growing problem in the tri-state area. We're talking squatters living in homes that do not belong to them. They're not paying any bills. We've told you about a few of these cases, thanks to you, Dan, over the past 2 weeks, and it's all due to this legal loophole.
Yeah, a loophole that many people are working to close, including Investigative Reporter Dan Krauth. Dan, quick work.
Yeah, we talk about stories going viral, but this one has gone viral. I'm getting messages from people all over the world. New York has a long history of passing some of the toughest laws in the country meant to protect honest tenants from greedy landlords, and for good reason. But some lawmakers say the laws have gone too far. They allow dishonest people to take advantage of free housing for years. We've heard from homeowner.
We are at the mercy of the squatter, the criminal.
After homeowner.
I don't have access. They changed my side locks and they changed my entire front door.
Who are fighting with squatters who have taken over their homes. In New York, if you call the police on someone who moved in without permission, if they claim to be a tenant, they can't be arrested for trespassing. The homeowner instead has to take them to court.
It's an unfortunate upside-down world.
Jake Blumenkrantz is trying to change that.
They know how to work the law to stay for a certain number of days and kind of work the system.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days. That means the property owner can't change the locks on them, can't remove their belongings, can't cut off the utilities, or they could be arrested. Instead, property owners must go through the court system to get rid of them, a system that could take close to 2 years for a resolution.
People could stay in a home for years without having justice brought to them for staying essentially for free and making a homeowner have to pay their bills.
His newly filed bill is pretty simple. It states a tenant doesn't include squatters. You're basically defining what a tenant is.
Absolutely.
And making sure that squatters can't take advantage of the law.
That's all we're doing.
It would mean if someone breaks into a home without permission or documents, police can have the authority to arrest them. It sounds very easy.
You'd think so. But unfortunately, there are many people here who are trying to fight against legislation like this.
Who is behind the opposition?
Unfortunately, there's a lot of squatter advocates, people who think that these individuals deserve more rights than those who own property.
The bill is gaining some bipartisan support right now, and it's working its way through both houses of the legislature, and there's no reason why it can't pass here. Florida, over the last few weeks, passed a very similar law. They say if you have a squatter in your home, they can call police to get that squatter out instead of having to go through the court system. So Florida just did it. Now New York's trying to do the same thing.
Preston, I mean, Florida isn't often the playbook for New York, but in this regard,
the roles are flipped in this case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so on Monday, I think one of the things that we all just could not believe was that homeowner who was actually arrested for changing the locks on her own home because there were squatters inside. Is there an update? What's happened?
Yeah, the one that was involved in the standoff.
Yes.
She was arrested. She was released about an hour later. She has a summons to appear back in court, and she's still in a standoff with the squatters. There's still multiple people living inside her home. Not only that, some of the people, there's at least 4 people living in that home, and I spoke with at least one of those people who say they're renting from the main person in the house. So the allegation here is that the main guy in the house is making money off
so
of
it's
Adele's
becoming a
home.
whole enterprise. It's just highly.
It's a whole thing.
It comes across very egregious. But I remember when you came here the first time, and you were talking about that couple.
The
I think
Landa
it was
family.
Douglas and Queens. So what's the latest on them?
Can you believe it? After buying the home in October, they still haven't been able to move in.
Wow.
Still?
Do you guys
still
remember
haven't
this
been
family?
able to move in, and they won't have another court hearing in this case until April 18th.
Oh my!
It's amazing that there are even squatter advocates, because just the term squatter has a negative and illegal association. So the fact that there are people advocating on their behalf is astounding.
Well, our state and our city has a long history of greedy landlords. So this is all tied into the property rights bills. So once you try to make a change, one change in a property rights bill, a lot of groups get up in arms, and for good reason, because they're concerned that it could chip away at tenants' rights, because everyone wants to make sure that they have a safe place to live and they're not going to have anything bad happen to them. But we also see how the law can be flipped, and we're in situations like these 2 major examples that we've been showing you over the last
And
few
I know
weeks.
how deeply that hurts. My parents are property owners here. These homes are expensive. These
They're
are
very
multi-million-dollar homes, and they can't get into their homes.
Yeah, and we're not talking about a greedy landlord that has a 500-unit apartment complex. We're talking about small families that are trying to buy homes that they can live in, safe place to live.
Right.
And they're getting the opposite.
The distinction between a squatter and a tenant needs
The
to be
distinction
made.
between, it's very simple. It just defines what a tenant is and excludes squatting from that definition.
Good work,
So
Dan.
we'll keep you posted on what happens.
Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
You can catch up on all of Dan's reports on these squatter situations at ABC7NY.